She has been called the loneliest first lady ever.
I'm not happy in the White House. I'm miserable in my marriage.
But what everyone's really wondering now is,
where's Melania?
Why hasn't Donald Trump's wife been seen in public for months? How is she handling constant criticism? And what's been her top priority for almost 2 decades? Let's uncover Melania Trump's biggest secrets. She hid from everyone on purpose? After the Trump family left the White House in 2021, Melania practically vanished from the spotlight.
Melania Trump as she is, which is someone who is an unconventional wife for an unconventional candidate. She was an unconventional first lady for an unconventional president.
The former first lady has significantly reduced her social media activity. Last December, she was absent from the family Christmas card. Melania was also missing from Trump's victory speech on Super Tuesday. Additionally, she never stood alongside her husband during the recent trial. So, what's going on?
He's trying to get more women to support him, but it doesn't look good when the most important woman in his life doesn't appear to support him.
When reporters asked Donald Trump about this, here's what he had to say.
She's a private person, a great person, very confident person. She'll be, at the appropriate time, she'll be out there. And honestly, I like to keep her away from it. It's so nasty and so mean.
Actually, Melania might find it tough to deal with all the not-so-nice stuff about Donald's past.
I spent a ton of time with her when the news was breaking about Stormy Daniels, and she didn't take it lightly at all.
The story dates back to 2006, when adult film actress Stormy Daniels supposedly met Trump at a charity golf tournament. During this time, Melania was looking after their newborn son, Barron. Then, a decade later, Stormy reportedly received $130,000 from Donald under the condition that she wouldn't disclose their intimate relationship. Before the election, this story resurfaced once more. There's talk going around that Melania and Donald aren't getting along too well these days, even though earlier she said it didn't bother her at all.
You're not the first lady to have to deal with her husband's alleged infidelities. Has this put a strain on your marriage?
It is not concern and focus of mine. I'm a mother and a first lady, and I have much more important things to think about and to do.
Meanwhile, Melania's former friend and advisor, Stephanie Winston-Wolkoff, says she's really upset about the whole thing. But she saw it coming and was prepared for it.
I don't think Melania is humiliated by his affairs, but she is angry. It's a transactional marriage. Her way of surviving is to just pretend that nothing happened.
Actually, Trump's been rumored to be getting divorced quite a few times, even before.
Call up my wife, our great first lady. She was a great first Peter. Loved her.
Is she unhappy in her marriage? People have been gossiping that this couple is basically living separate lives. Insiders spill that they've got their own rooms at Mar-a-Lago and only meet up now and then for dinner at the Palm Beach mansion. And let's talk about Trump's public appearances over the years. Kinda iffy, right? Experts have picked up on Melania seeming uneasy around her husband.
And so I was looking at images from the event. All of them look like Melania wants to get the heck out of there.
Well, earlier she just seemed unsure of how to act, like during their first dance after the inauguration. And let's not forget how many times people have talked about Donald straight up ignoring his wife at different events. Sometimes, even their kisses seemed more like a show than the real deal. At the time, Trump jokingly said,
I've got to get the lipstick off, is it on?
And of course, those awkward hand gestures. It's kind of odd for a couple who've been married for nearly 20 years, don't you think? At the same time, in her rare interviews, Melania has always said that she and her husband have no problems.
Do you love your husband?
Yes, we are fine. Yes.
She chalks it up to media fiction.
People think and talk about me like, oh, Melania, oh, poor Melania. Don't feel sorry for me. Don't feel sorry for me. I can handle everything.
In fact, Trump's wife has even come to his defense from time to time. For instance, when some not-so-pleasant conversations ended up online.
I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss.
While Donald was allegedly discussing other women, Melania then said that none of it was true.
That my husband is kind and he's a gentleman, and he would never do that. That everything was organized and put together to hurt him, to hurt his candidacy.
By the way, Melania's life during the Trump presidency is worth discussing separately, because there's been talk that those 4 years in the White House were really tough for her. She never wanted to be the First Lady, though at the beginning of her relationship with Donald, Melania mentioned she wouldn't mind giving the role a shot.
Can you picture yourself the First Lady?
Yes, I will be very traditional, like Jackie Kennedy. I will support him. I will do a lot of social obligations.
But she didn't exactly stick to those words. Kathy Rogers, author of the book on First Ladies, believes that Melania wasn't initially keen on the role. So instead of staying in the White House, she actually lived in New York City to be with her son, Barron. And on the days Melania was in Washington, D.C., she didn't take many responsibilities. According to an insider, she preferred to walk around in a robe all day and occasionally call in staffers to report the day's gossip to her. Actually, what's written and said matters a lot to Melania.
I didn't expect media will be so dishonest and so mean. I didn't expect that.
Melania did indeed attract a lot of attention, and she faced a huge dose of criticism, like for seeming distant and disconnected from the public.
The First Lady is expected by tradition to be out there, to have a set list of causes.
Mrs. Trump started a campaign called Be Best, focusing on helping kids and fighting cyberbullying. But not everyone liked that idea right away. Some said the slogan was grammatically wrong, and Melania herself got called cynical.
Here she is championing this anti-cyberbullying initiative. And she is the wife of perhaps one of the most well-known cyberbullies on the planet.
At the same time, she's the only First Lady who has visited a child immigrant detention center at the US-Mexico border. It was a meaningful trip for her because she's an immigrant from Slovenia herself.
It's very sad to see.
Moreover, she's the only First Lady of the United States who has been seen naked by the public, too. In 1996, she posed nude for a French men's magazine. 20 years later, the New York Post featured these pictures on its cover with the caption, "Melania Trump like you've never seen her before."
I'm very proud I did those pictures. I'm not ashamed of my body. I feel very comfortable with myself and with my body.
Later, another media outlet published an article claiming that she worked as an escort. This time, the former model didn't just sit back. She promptly filed a lawsuit, demanding that the journalists publicly apologize for spreading false information. That's how she showed she'd fight tooth and nail to protect herself and her family.
People I see always criticize me whatever I do, and I'm used to that. I move forward.
But there's one person she's willing to stand up for, even more fiercely. The son comes first. Melania is really close to her only child, Barron.
She loves that boy.
She has always said she's not into politics. She's focused on her son and his education.
I made the decision. I will be a parent to our boy, to our child.
Since Barron was born, Melania has made an effort to keep him out of the public eye. She shielded the boy from all of the negativity associated with the Trump family. Melania also chose not to hire any nannies or helpers so she could be there for her child. Former First Lady has spoken that being a mom is her main job. According to body language experts, Mrs. Trump has a significant impact on Barron. For instance, they note that she frequently has her hand on her son's back, as if reassuring him, "It's okay, you've got this." And, apparently these days, she's been tweaking prenup to protect and grow assets for her kid. The insider says it's all about securing a better future for Barron if she split up with Donald.
She wanted proof in writing that when it came to financial opportunities and inheritance, Barron would be treated as more of an equal to Trump's oldest 3 children.
Melania was also busy helping her son get into college. Some say this was one of the reasons she declined her husband's requests to speak on the campaign trail. It wasn't too long ago that Barron celebrated his 18th birthday. So perhaps now Melania could shift her focus from motherhood? Just recently, the Trump couple made a surprise appearance at a polling station in Palm Beach.
She's the one person that I think Donald Trump really fears.
They strolled hand in hand, responding to reporters' inquiries. Melania remained smiled, but tight-lipped as always.
Mrs. Trump, are you going to return to the campaign trail with your husband? Stay tuned.
That answer got everyone talking again. Is Melania changing her approach now and planning to be more visible in public? And are her emotions and actions genuine? What's your take on it? Let us know in the comments.